So I got a hard stop right at 2:30 here, and um, yeah, that's that's the way the cookie crumbles. Look at this though. Look at how fast we're getting things moving here. Like we are live. We are live on wherever we are. YouTube. That's it.
Live to the nation. What's up, people?
Uh,
I didn't tell anybody about this one.
no, me neither. But we'll see if anyone joins. There's nobody.
Last minute, we live.
That's okay. That's okay. All right. Let's get this out of the way. Let's get this out of the way. All right. So we want to talk Islanders, do a little hockey playoff preview, little NBA playoff preview.
Yeah, feel free to jump in on the Nets whenever you want. Plenty of stuff to talk about in the Mets. If you want to backfill the end, we can start with the Mets. Up to you.
All right. Well, let's fucking go. Let's get better moving.
Let's do it.
Hello and welcome to another episode of This Is Our Year. I'm your host. It could be our year, Doug. It could be our year. It could be our year. There's big happenings this week. So exactly. Let's celebrate. What are you drinking?
What am I drinking? I'm drinking Brews.
Brews a Dubel.
A Dubel. Maybe it's Bruz. Maybe that works too. But
is it Dubel?
Dubel, yeah, Dubel. Belgian style Dubel, if that's how you say it in fancy land, and 7.8. These guys are from Denver, and
I gotta say, you got like a rotation. You go Vermont, Colorado, and then Connecticut,
and then Cali sometimes.
But yeah,
my four favorite states. No, that's not true. That's not. Yeah. New York's in there somewhere, but
are you a fan of the state of Colorado?
I have nothing against it. I've actually haven't spent too much time there. Have you? Like non-work, I have not.
Yes, my sister, lives in Colorado Springs, so we always meet up. And there's a direct flight from here to Denver, which makes it easy. It's only 2.5 hour flight, and Denver is, I don't know. It's not my favorite place. It's like where all the hipsters that, like the aughts hipsters, you know what I'm talking about? The aughts hipsters.
This show is about the aughts.
It is about the aughts. We should rename it the aughts. This is our aughts. But the aughts hipsters have all migrated to Denver, man, because flannels and ripped jeans and beards and I
always think of Boulder like that, like they're all in Boulder, but I guess Denver's the same way. Breweries and convention
superior, spaces. Yes,
and a really psychotic airport that's like 30 miles outside the city.
That's right. It's actually there's a lot of conspiracy theories for the Denver airport.
A lot of fun stuff.
Yes.
If you've never looked at that. Those conspiracies, do yourself a favor when you're drifting off to sleep. It's a good time.
Yes. They have a whole luggage system that is supposed to, because they had an airport that was perfectly fine downtown, and they built this one out in the middle of nowhere, which they're now building out around it. And there's that's where all the new houses are going up, is whatever the name of the town the airport's in. And then there's now a Gaylord right by the airport, so that they figured if you're going to have convention space, you might as well have it 10 minutes from the airport, right? Because you're not going anywhere when you go to a Gaylord. You're staying right on site.
You're locked in. You're locked in for 4 days. It's
4 days.
That's the rule.
In the biodome. It's awful. It's awful.
It's the worst.
But yeah, it's the worst. But anyway, enough about Denver, because we're not playing Denver in any of the playoffs that are about to happen. But we are going to talk.
We're playing them in the Cup Finals. But I
already told my sister, if we get to the Cup Finals, if the Islanders get to the Cup Finals against the Avalanche, we're going to be realistic here. There's probably a far chance of the Islanders making it to the Cup Finals as the 7th seed. But if the Islanders do make it to the Cup Finals, we are going, Doug. We are going to.
Oh God, yeah. Without a doubt. And you're coming out here for some games too.
Wow,
So
that'll be
that's
an interesting week for sure.
yeah, that's a no doubter. And you want to do hockey first?
Yeah, definitely.
The
I know.
Islanders somehow made it. I personally had a meltdown on Monday after that performance. It was looking pretty bleak.
Against Washington.
Yeah,
Yeah. So
it was looking pretty bleak, Mike.
let's relive this week, Doug. So we're playing Washington. We have to basically win our last two games to get into it, and we control our own destiny.
They needed 3 points, yeah. So
we
a win
needed
and a
3 points. So a tie and a win. We needed to get in, and we go into Washington, who had like half their lineup resting, right? They didn't have all their regulars in the lineup.
No Ovechkin, no Oshie, who kills us, and a bunch of other guys completely tanking at this point.
Yep.
Just didn't even have a full roster because their cap was screwed up.
And less than 2 minutes in, the score is what, Doug?
2-0. I didn't even sit down.
Right.
I don't know about you.
I was sitting. I saw the first two goals and I shut it off. I'm like, well, I am not going to watch this because I'm going to swear in front of my 5-month-old, and I don't want to do that. Yeah. So I'll go watch Mets baseball a lot earlier than I intended to.
Indeed. So, I think I texted you 3 letters. Do you remember what they were?
Let's go Islanders, LGI.
No, I sat down. It was 2-0 with 19 left in the first, and I all I do is type WTF, and that's about it for that game. Like there's nothing else to say. We woke up on Tuesday. Everybody's making fun of us.
Yep, we were going to miss the playoffs again.
Suddenly they don't control their own destiny. They're looking like they're out. Florida clinches. So it's down
Pittsburgh.
To Pittsburgh.
Yep. And Pittsburgh had to win to get in. If they won both their games, right? Or did they? If they got 1 point in one game and then won the other game, they would have gotten in, right? They just needed 3.
I think so. So anyway, they have a game on Tuesday night against Chicago.
Which I think, are they the worst team or the second worst team in the NHL this year?
They did not finish as the worst. Your Anaheim Ducks actually did, but they were damn close. And for their level of tanking, and by the way, this was a Pittsburgh home game. I mean, the Islanders at least had to go to DC, right? So this tanking ass team comes into Pittsburgh, into that paint arena thing they got, and they are playing a defenseman as a third line center. They got AHL guys up the ass. Who cares? Let's have some fun, boys. Pittsburgh. What does Pittsburgh do?
They pull an Islanders of the night before, and they get beat 5-2.
Massive dump at center ice. Thank you, Peter Mrazek, who was actually kind of standing on his head. But wow,
yeah.
We wake up Wednesday morning because I wasn't really aware. Wake up Wednesday morning. Now everybody's making fun of the Penguins. Oh, it's so sweet.
It was great.
We still had one more thing to do. We had to play on Thursday.
We had to either tie or beat the Montreal Canadiens.
Also tanking team.
On Wednesday. Also a tanking team.
But this time at home, and thank God. I mean, it wasn't a proverbial dick stomping, but it was pretty damn good. It was 4-2 final, I believe. It's never that close. And,
no, they got that shorthanded goal to make it look closer, but that was more of a little bit of a lucky in between. Yeah. Sorokin got caught in between. Giving up another shorthanded goal is stupid. It was also holding the stick.
We'll get to that stuff, but hey, let's be positive for now. And Islanders in the playoffs.
Not only in the playoffs,
but we get a bonus the next day.
Yep.
When the
Carolina plays Florida.
Carolina.
Yep. And Carolina took the number 2 seed away from New Jersey. And the Panthers then fell to the 8th seed, which means they get the joy of playing the Boston Bruins, who set the record for most points ever in a season. So, not that
most points, most wins. Yeah,
not that Goliath can't fall.
No,
but I think I would much rather play the Carolina Hurricanes than the Boston Bruins in round 1.
And anyone saying would going up to game 1 in Boston would just be. It'd just be a rough scene. It's hard to imagine surviving those first 2 games up there. So Carolina is absolutely no cakewalk, and they have kind of like handled the Isles during this core's run, right?
Hmm.
They swept them in 2019 on Barry Trotz's first year, and in general, like they always finish ahead of them. This is a good team. It's
Very good team.
very well
Very
coached
well
by
coached.
Rod Brindamore, and it's going to be fun. I went ahead and I looked. I was like, okay, this is a high flying, high scoring team, right? Um, I took a look at their stats. Brock Nelson would have been their leading scorer.
Yeah, they're the same. They play the same game we do. They just are way
Yeah.
better in their defensive zone than we are this year and
Oh
the
my God.
last
Yeah.
four
So
years.
I'll get to that. I think that is the major weakness. I think you and I agree on that. That's the weakness of this Islanders team. But all of a sudden, this kind of ragtag group that was 7% chance to make it in late January has made it to the playoffs. This is a bunch of dudes with like 50 games playoff experience. If you think about it, like half the team.
Nobody wants to play the New York Islanders in the
No,
playoffs.
and with a freak goaltender, and we've buried the lead the whole day or this whole segment. Who's
What
coming
do we
back?
find out today? What do we find out today,
Who's
Dougie?
coming back today? Or game one?
Game one,
Matthew Barzell.
Matthew Barzell. On the wing with Bo Horvat
Yep.
and Anders Lee,
And Anders Lee.
which gives us 4 solid lines to roll in the playoffs, which is, oh, you owe me a drink.
Yep.
Cat,
I'm drinking.
cat sighting, which is definitely something that no other team can do. No other team rolls 4 lines in the playoffs. It's going to be fourth line might get 2 shifts each period.
Yep.
Our fourth line will probably start the period every period. So,
Yeah, I mean, playoff time. Yes, I agree with that move. It's going to be fun. I'm worried though. I'm mad worried about this this series. I would do anything though to get to that second round, right? Jersey or Rangers, and I think that's locked in. Like they don't reseed, so ooh, that would be fun.
I'll tell you what, Doug, I am not worried. I think we're playing with house money. If we get swept, okay.
Yeah.
But I think what you just said is why I'm not worried. We have the majority of the roster with 50 plus playoff games.
Yeah.
We're a team that has probably a top, if not the best, a top 3 goaltender in the NHL. Our defense is the weak link,
Yep.
but I believe if we play like we played against Montreal and we tighten up and we do what we know we can do, which keep the shots on the outside and, capitalize on turnovers and forecheck like we can, we will do just fine. We are rolling 3 with Barzell back. We're rolling 3 solid lines. There's no more Holmstrom or Bailey in the
3
lineup.
dangerous lines. Yes.
Yeah, you got Nelson with Engvall and Palmieri, and Engvall. What a pickup that
great.
guy's been.
They've been great. All 3 of them. Props to Kyle too, who's stepped up his game last month or two.
Yep, and then you got Parisi, Pajot, and Fashing, who's another guy that's come out of nowhere to have a great season.
And
guy had 10 goals this year.
Yeah, I just want to pause and give props to JP or JGP as well. Pajot was looking a little cooked after that wrist injury a couple years ago. I think he has his shot back. He's going to be a pest. Again, Parise. I love how Parise gets to play some Islander playoff hockey. That's a great story. You're right. Like, why would you want to face the Islanders? It's
you don't.
This is a team that can make a run. As you said, though, they could get swept. I mean, they are prone to some horrific defensive breakdowns, and that's what worries about me about this year. It's Dobson's regressed in that regard, and Aha's never played a playoff game. I worry about him under pressure, and Bolduc was making some kind of crazy plays. Maybe Romanov comes back, but he's not going to play game 1. They've already said that, so that sounds bad.
So I mean,
Pelech and Pulock looked good that last game, though. Adam Pelech,
I think
those 2 can carry them. They're capable, at least.
And you still have Mayfield as well, and
whose game is better suited for the playoffs, obviously.
Yes. So I think what you want to do, what you're going to see in the playoffs is a lot more hitting. there's going to
Yep.
be a lot more checking and not a better
Which plays
team.
into our game.
Yeah, which plays into our game. We love to hit people, and that's gonna. I read this quote somewhere, but when you get into a 7 game series, even some of those hits in game one, even if you lose game one, those hits start to add up by game
Yeah.
7. And when you're repetitively getting checked, excuse me, Carolina is a team that's very similar to us. They play a very physical game, but we're okay with that. So as long as we can keep the pressure on them, physicality on them, and the other thing that's really important in playoff hockey is winning faceoffs. And now that we got Horvat and Pajot and Cizikas,
Yeah.
we got 3 guys that are above average in winning faceoffs in the circle.
And that's the thing with getting Barzal back makes them a legit, I think, at least like league average scoring team. Correct me if I'm wrong. If they can fix the power play, and I think this does it. I think having like these 5 guys only played together 4 games or 5 games before Barzal got hurt, and it was the only signs of life for that first team. So. Yeah, man. Having Horvat take that face off and then letting Matty run with the center duties if needed, it's going to be interesting to watch. I saw them going like this the 4 games they are playing. I think Lane is okay with Matt still like taking, especially when he's got the puck, he can just do whatever he wants. But you're so right about Horvat starting on the face off. That's going to be big. Yeah, man. It's going to be fun.
It's going to be fun. Barzal was a 75% loss on the faceoff, 70% loss on the faceoff.
He's been regressing on that too.
He's never been good at faceoffs. No, he's not great at in the taking the faceoffs. That's Horvat, that's Pajot, Cizikas. Those guys are the guys you want. I mean, Nelson never takes them either because he's not great at it either. It's not his strong suit. So he takes them when he needs to, but. If you look, he's not always starting out there. How many times do you see Nelson starting out there for a face?
No, you're right. But for some reason, I'm just blanking on whether he's good or not.
Nelson?
Yeah, he's probably like 45%.
He's
not terrible.
He's 4th out of the 4 guys of the centerman. Yeah, he's definitely not. It's not his strongest of suits.
Well, what a year he had, though. Jesus,
what a year! Best Islander forward year.
He keeps getting better.
I don't know, the last 5-7 years. I can't remember.
Like a fine wine. Barry Trotz showed up, and this guy's career trajectory. Ooh, I'll drink. Completely changed.
If you recall, we gave him a 1-year deal, prove it deal, when Lou and Barry came in. He had no market for himself, right?
No, he was awful.
1-year deal
during the Doug Weight era. Awful.
Yeah, he got a 1-year deal, and then he came in and absolutely lit everything on fire, and then got a 6-year deal. So
it's been amazing, man. He looks older than us. We're like 13 years older.
Yes, he does. He looks like Ken Bernheim with gray hair.
I swear to God, put a stovepipe hat on him, and he's Abraham Lincoln. So
I like it. I like it.
Oh God! So look, the Canes though can burn you, right? So the other Sebastian Aho is going to be a problem.
Yes, and their defense. That's
that's the one is really good.
Yep, and you can't make a mistake against Carolina because they make you pay for pretty much every mistake you make.
That's the 20-point difference between them and the Islanders. Although Svechnikov is out, that's their best winger, in my opinion.
Yes.
So that's nice.
It's definitely helpful, but they still have Aho. They still have a good blue line, and they're tough to score against.
Yeah,
so we're going to have to bury our chances. We cannot miss the net. We cannot flub. We cannot miss on breakaways. No. Like every opportunity, we got to convert.
And that's
how we win.
And it's a lot of pressure on guys like Aho and Bolduc and Dobson. To be honest, I'm calling him out, man. This
is where these guys are either going to step up and become solid NHL defensemen. They're going to have to be trusted, or they're not. And we'll know what we have with them after this series, one way or the other, right?
Yeah, no, absolutely. What was I going to say? Brett Burns has had quite the bounce back. I mean, he's speaking of old. And by the way, I can't wait till Jenny sees him on TV with the the Joe Thornton beard. She's gonna love Brent Burns, but I don't. He's what, their third leading scorer.
He's like 39 years old. He's
Yeah.
he's right. He's close to our age.
Yeah, and he was like drafted in like 03 or something. And but yeah, they have Shea, they have Pesci, they have Slavin, they have Ghost Bear that they picked up at the deadline. That's a good blue line. It's
Yeah.
I mean, the problem, like, again, the pressure's on the forwards to pressure the Canes, because if we have to sit back, we're going to get lit up.
Yeah,
So,
definitely. I think you're going to see a lot of forechecking. I think you're going to see a lot of hitting, and I think you're going to see a lot of dump and chase, because we're going to want to make them play a 200-foot game, and we're going to want to make them get tired. That's part of it, right? If you can roll 4 lines, wear them down, and after 7 games, we can wear them down. You can wear them down.
It would be very encouraging to take one of the first 2 in Carolina. I think that means it's a long series. And Matt, let's hope you're 100%. Great timing. It's not even like a cap thing, right? Like, you know how the teams like hold their guys, but I hope he's ready, because I mean, at this point, that's where it hinges, right?
It doesn't matter. Yeah, I mean, he's the linchpin, right? You got 3 guys that can carry, maybe 4. You got 3 to 4 guys that can carry the puck into the zone.
Yeah,
on this,
and
on this team.
You might be being generous, so
I think
I'll give you Engvall. He can
Engvall, Dobson, and Aho can all carry the puck, and now you got Barzal back, and Barzal's like next level elite and entering the offensive zone. The other guys are average, and then the rest is dump and chase.
So we're pretty sure that he had a MCL injury. So I'm just I want to see him be able to cut. If he can't skate like Matt Barzal, who's, I think, honestly, after McDavid, is the best skater in the NHL. Maybe Jack Hughes comes for that title soon, but if he can't cut like that, it's not going to be a good thing.
I gotta think that we're not bringing him back unless he's 90%. Yeah. I don't think they're going to risk a longer term. I guess that's what I'll say. I don't think there's a longer term injury risk here, or that they wouldn't play around with that. It's not worth it.
I think I saw a rumor that he wanted to come back like 2 weeks ago, and they told him to calm the hell down.
Right.
However, like, they could have used him the last couple of weeks. I mean,
I think that they were
got the gray
ready.
coming in our beards.
Yes, I think they were ready to and I think they were ready to let the dice, chips fall where they may, and whatever happened, but they weren't going to bring their star player back early and risk further injury. So he must be at least at a point where he can't get himself into any worse of a position, right?
Yeah.
I don't think it would be prudent of Lou and the team to let him come back early just because of the playoffs. The same thing with, if you remember, Pelech tore his Achilles the COVID year, and there was enough time. He needed 4 months. Barzal had 2.5 months, right? It's not if they found out there was an MCL, they put him under the knife within like 24, 48 hours. They repaired it. That is on par with getting him back. Now, he might be rusty and his knee might need to get into game shape. So he may not be able to do 20 minutes of ice time. He may only have like 12 to 15 for the first couple of nights, but we'll take it. We'll take it. Pick and choose the spots, right? So
I'll take him on wing over, as you mentioned, Bailey or Holmstrom. So
Bailey and Holmstrom are both not NHL players at this point, unfortunately.
Yeah, fine. Not in this lineup. I think Fasching has rightfully earned a spot.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And
Bailey's you can't sit Cal and Matt. Matt Martin. You can't.
No, you got to let that identity line.
This is
just
why
do
they're
their
getting
thing.
paid. Yeah.
Yes. Hit people and hit them hard, and make them think about going into the corner every single time. That's what their job is. So I feel confident.
And look, this is an aging core, aging roster. Maybe this is their last time in the playoffs. Either way, really cool that we get to do this one more time. Let's hope it's a long one, man. Cheers.
Yeah, definitely. And I will say, I don't agree that it's going to be our last time. I think we have a nice nucleus that isn't quite aging. Now, this team, as it's currently constituted, is not going to probably be the same team next year. Is Lou going to be back next year? I don't know. Probably. It seems like there's no reason why he wouldn't. He seems with it, and I'm sure he's probably got a year-to-year contract to do whatever he wants to do at this point. And I do. We give Lou a lot of shit on this show, but Lou, your 2 moves, I got to say, chef's kiss. You did the job, and you got him in, and you made the playoffs. And you've been here for what, 5 years now, and you're in the playoffs 4 out of the 5 years. I can't. Is one of the best runs of Islander hockey in my lifetime. So,
oh god,
this
is by far the second best Islanders core in team history, and maybe that's a little depressing, but it's no doubt.
I think if we hadn't run into one of the best teams, the Tampa Bay Lightning, I don't want to call them a dynasty, but they were pretty damn near close to becoming one, and they were our nemesis, and they were just better than us. So, I think if we beat the Lightning that year, the first year, 2021, in the finals, I think we were taking the whole goddamn thing.
That was the best shot, probably. Although we got to Game 7 the next year, as you know, on your big day, or no, it was the day before your big day. That was the rehearsal, right?
That's the game. That's the year I'm talking about. I think we would have won that year.
Oh yeah, well, even in the bubble, Brock had a breakaway in overtime in Game 6, so who knows? But I forgot what we were talking about, but props to Lou. I think you were going to give him some props.
Props to Lou. So let's talk about predictions. What do we think, Doug? Islanders, Carolina.
I'm going to take Islanders in 7 because I can't pick against the Islanders, but I think this is going to be tough as hell. If I was a non-Islanders fan, I would pick Carolina in 5.
Okay, I will do one better, and I will say let's go Islanders in 6.
I love it.
And if I was a non-Islanders fan, I would probably say Carolina in 7. But I think this is going to be whoever comes out of this series it's going to be a long grinding series, and you're either going to be ready to fuck somebody up in the next round, or you're going to be so exhausted that you're going to get ousted really quickly. So
yeah, and it's going to be really interesting how New Jersey reacts to being in the playoffs. They're so young, right? Against the Rangers, who are young themselves. That's gonna be really fun.
So let's give Josh Rosen a little bit of what he asked for. Let's talk, because this is the first year that we've had the Islanders, the Rangers, the Devils, the Knicks, and the Knicks all in the playoffs at the same time. And
I hate this because that was a really bad year. I don't want to remember that year.
What was that? 94 was the last time, and that's the year that the Rangers won the cup, right? So
and they how did they start that run? By sweeping the stupid Islanders and Ron Hextall, as we were talking about today.
Well, we'll save Ron for later, but. But yeah, let's talk a little Devils and Rangers. What do you think about that series?
I'll just get my prediction out of the way. Devils in 6. I think they have so much firepower, and I think Shesterkin's been a little human this year. I know the Rangers loaded up on those vets, but I think it backfires on them.
Okay,
I'm never going to pick the Rangers anyway. But
okay.
I really think there's a talent discrepancy here that people aren't talking about enough. So sure, Adam Fox is the best defenseman in that series, and obviously Shesterkin's the better goalie. But those two guys better be pretty damn good, because the Devils are scary on the attack.
So I'm going to go against what you just said, and I know that you can't pick the Rangers, but I'm going to be the objective Islanders fan here, and I'll pick the Rangers in 6, and I think it does come down to a youth thing. I don't think the Devils have much playoff experience on that team, if any. I think the Rangers got a little bit last year, and I think that Shesterkin is definitely the better goaltender, and I think that makes a big difference in the playoffs. So Rangers in 6.
I mean, yes, I've been telling Josh all year, the playoffs are a different animal. So it's always tough that first time.
Yep. I mean, dude, look at the Panthers last year. Look at the Panthers last year. They had this high-flying young team other than Bobrovsky, right? And they they won the President's Cup for most points in the league, and they got swept in the first round. I mean, it was just I think by Carolina. Is that right?
It was no, they get swept
Was
in the
it?
second round by Tampa. I
Mm,
know that Tampa beat them.
maybe it was the first round. Tampa beat them. I don't know. You
Yeah.
might be right.
Either way, by the way, who are you picking? Toronto, Tampa. I am a
Uh,
Lightning fan, of course, in this
I
one. But
mean, definitely
is
Tampa.
it finally time for Toronto?
No,
Fuck them.
Tavares is going to have another first round exit. That team stinks. Who's
That
their
would be.
goalie? Matt Murray, or is it Matt Murray that they're
It's Matt.
banking on
Matt
being
they
their
have.
goal?
Yeah, Matt Murray and the guy we lit up recently.
Ilya Samsonov or whatever. Is
Yeah,
that who it is? Yeah.
Samsonite,
Slippy, Slappy. Come on.
Slappy. Yeah,
Yeah, there's no
That's-
there's no there's no goaltender there, and Toronto is garbage. They're absolute garbage. So
Oh, let it happen. My God.
mhm.
But how fun is the East going to be, man? I
For the
love that. I
playoffs,
love that we're a part of this party because the East is
yep.
nasty,
And
nasty.
Florida's not going to be an easy out against
No,
Boston. That's going to be a tough series. I think like you said, playoffs is it's a whole new season. So yes, Boston had the best season ever, and no, I did not want to play them in the first round, but I think Florida's going to, I don't think they're going to get swept in the first round. I also think Linus Ullmark, although he's had like a crazy good year,
yeah,
I think he's playing in front of a really good defensive team, and I think he's kind of like Kumper. What Darcy Kumper, is that his name?
yeah.
Was last
Kemper.
year on the Avs.
Yep.
His
Well,
record is
there's
better
always
than
guys
he
like
is.
that.
Right.
There's always like Jordan Bennington has a ring.
Oh my God, that
Um,
guy.
Crawford on Chicago, or Darling. Like who is winning who are the goalies on Chicago's team?
Corey
No one
Crawford.
remembers. Yeah.
Corey Crawford. Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun, man.
Antu Ratti, I think, was the other guy.
The Canes have that guy.
But he's not their starter, right? I thought
It's weird.
Frederick Anderson.
I think Freddie is the starter, former Leaf, by the way.
Yeah.
But
And Duck.
and Duck, a great paper. I think he was like a 7th rounder, by the way. Great story. But I was going to say, they have the same amount of games played, and maybe I should have. Yeah, I wasn't expecting to see that. And Ronta had the better year statistically.
But didn't Anderson get hurt at one point? I think maybe that
Probably
could have something to do with it. Yeah,
that's what he
he
does.
always gets hurt. Yeah. He was a Lou guy. He was Lou's first move when Lou took over the Maple Leafs, if you recall.
Oh, that's
He
right.
traded for Frederick Anderson from Anaheim. I don't know. I think he gave him like a 5th round pick because they just didn't want to pay. They weren't going to pay him. And then he signed. I think he was like a free agent. You know when they do that free agent, but they trade the contract before that whole weird thing, so you could trade.
That's how we got Halak back in the day.
Oh, I believe he was the all-time winningest single season goalie until this year when Mr. Sorokin. Yeah, Mr. Sorokin. Great pick.
Him and Chris Osgood, right?
That's right. Fucking Chris Osgood. Remember that guy?
That was.
I remember that guy.
Let's not remember some dumb trades.
When we traded Osgood back to Detroit.
No, we traded him
to St. Louis. Yeah, and then he went back to Detroit.
Papineau.
Mapletoft.
Justin Mapletoft.
I don't know. Oh, didn't Mapletoft become like somebody's coach? And I was like, oh yeah, he was a third line center bust, 5th line center.
Brad Ispista with the twisted wrista.
Oh my God! Every game.
Anyway, we'll be sparking it up with Sparky on Monday night. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah, man. Should we do a watch party?
Yeah, why not?
Why not? And, let's drink on Monday night at 4 p.m. It's usually my night off, but why not?
I'll start at 4 p.m. my time.
So Doug, this is actual though. I'm not shaving this until we get eliminated.
Yeah,
I might clean it up down here because it just gets itchy, but that's it.
No, so you're looking at 5 days here.
Yeah, this is about 5 days. So we're simpatico here.
I have. Oh yeah, and I have photographic proof that I can grow a beard. But man, it takes a bit. Especially here. And so for the first 4 weeks, it looks like I'm growing the 90s baseball player goatee, which is a kind of a bad scene. I am not. I just want to be on the record. But yeah, it comes around here. But here's a little.
I mean, dude, if we're going to talk about
so much
facial here, I just grow the Abe Lincoln without trying to grow the Abe Lincoln.
Can you not grow the stash?
It
Or
comes
is
in
there
like
just
dirty, dirty blonde. I look like Matthew McConaughey from here up and here down. From the nose down and the upper lip up. Just in this little zone right here, I look like Matthew
yeah?
McConaughey. In
So
Dazed and Confused, yes.
absolutely, but no, dude, I don't care if I look hungover on sales calls for the next month. That means something good's happening. So
It's fucking playoff hockey.
that's
And
right.
I will tell anyone, I will scream it from the mountaintops.
Yes.
Let's go Islanders, and that is why I look like a fucking disheveled homeless person. Because it's playoff time. It's hockey, and it's the playoffs in hockey. So
Yeah,
if you
no.
got a fucking problem with it, I'll check you into the boards. All right, so you think Devs in 6, I think Rangers in 6. You think Isles in 7, I think Isles in 6. And do we want to predict the rest of the East while we're at it for the first round?
Yeah, I'll give you Boston in 5, and I'll give you. Oh yeah, let's not pick the Leafs. We can't do that. Let's pick Tampa in 7. The old vets wear them down. John Cooper's got one more run.
I'll take Boston in 6, and I'll take Tampa in 5.
Wow!
Fuck you, Toronto. Fuck
Love
you
it.
so hard. So that's impressive. I mean, we just did 35 minutes on hockey, and
It's my favorite sport. Maybe
it's both of our favorite sports.
my favorite sport to watch. I think we've been through this, but
and we do actually have 2 viewers, so that's great. We have Josh and your sister joining us today.
oh shit!
So,
hey, Mayor
Yeah,
or Hill?
and
Probably Mayor.
yeah, Meredith, and yeah.
Any
that
questions
is,
or
No, they're just they're talking shit about your shirt and something about Kirk Cameron. I don't know what that's all about, but
Kirk Cameron is the brother-in-law of Pavel Bure.
who I actually did I tell you that I actually bought his car.
This sounds familiar, but no.
So I bought a car recently from a Beverly Hills car dealership, and I was looking for a specific car, and I finally found it. It was in Beverly Hills. I'm not bougie trying to go to Beverly Hills.
I was looking at my phone. What kind of car? Sorry.
I didn't tell you what kind of car. I was
okay.
leaving that part out, but I can tell you. So I was looking for a Targa 911, and to get a new one was ridiculous. I could not afford it, but I could afford a used one. But they're very scarce. They're the unicorn of 911s, and so I found a black on
one of these. Wow.
I just got this, so then obviously you didn't know this. So I found a black on black 911 GTS 2019 used, just came off lease. So I go up there and I fucking go through all this whole thing, and I buy the car. I come to an agreement. We buy the car, and they take me into the room to sign all the papers. And the lady says, "Oh, this is a celebrity's car." And I was like, "Well, what do you mean?" And she's like, "Well, I'm not allowed to tell you." And I'm like, "Well, then why the fuck did you tell me it's a celebrity's car?" I was like, "I won't tell anyone."
You know Jared from Subway?
Yeah. A lot of stuff going on right here. So she goes, it's Candace Cameron's car. And I said, "Oh, wow, cool." So Pavel Bure, his butt has been in my car at some point in time. Just thought I'd share that with you.
Oh, he definitely has.
Yes. I'm wondering where else that butt's been in that car, but I don't want to know. I don't want to.
Well, I mean, there's not much room in there to. Well,
no.
Anyway.
I mean, yeah, we'll leave it at that. Leave it up to the imagination of the people. But yeah, so we've covered a lot of NHL, and it is both of our favorite sports. So hopefully the guests are now tuning in at minute 38, and let's talk a little, because we really want them to stick around. Let's talk a little NBA playoffs.
Oh, my favorite
NBA playoffs. I know you're totally unprepared for this.
No, yeah. Real quick, would you like the NHL to do that play-in thing?
No,
no.
I think it's cool for the NBA, but no, it's the NHL. So let me go on record as saying all regular seasons, except for the NFL, and maybe even the NFL, are too long. It's too many games. These guys are. I mean, granted, you need to have a certain amount of games to like establish, people to be wherever, but like in baseball, every sport now, fucking 8 teams get in, right? So they have these grueling long fucking 82 or 80 or 162 game seasons. Injuries pile up, all this bullshit, dude. I just want to see the best players in the best in the playoffs, right? So I think they should shorten the seasons. They never will because the owners want all that regular season cash to come in their pockets, and they want, for all the money they're paying the players, they want to get their money's worth. Do I like the play-in in the NBA? Yes. I think it brings a little something because most of the teams that are in the 7 through 10 seeds are under 500 and they're a fucking crapshoot.
And they have no shot in the actual playoffs. So,
well, apparently, fucking everyone's on the Lakers bandwagon all of a sudden.
Yeah, but they have to be. That's contractually obliged
by ESPN to give LeBron
but like, why wouldn't you not cover LeBron James's team though? I mean. It's not Dallas Cowboys level where it's like, guys, this team sucks, but okay, just keep fucking talking about him.
Is it Tim Tebow level?
Nothing. It's Tim Tebow level.
Dude, for those of you who don't remember, I mean, Tim Tebow was like trying to be a fucking tight end on the Jacksonville Jaguars a couple years ago. And he hadn't been relevant in the NFL in probably 4 years. And he still had, they cut every fucking Sports Center to a 2-minute clip of Tebow at Jacksonville Jaguars training camp. It was fucking, was that last year? I think that was last year because Urban Meyer came back and they tried to make him a tight end at 30-something years old.
Yeah, was that Urban's idea? I think you're right.
I think so, yeah. I think they gave him one last shot.
Well, what's crazy about Tebow is he played for the Mets until a couple of years ago and then finally gave that up, so...
And then that's when he went to go for the Jaguars. Yeah, and then he finally retired, and now he's, weekend college football analysis and then full-time, Bible-beating, church-going.
He'll be a senator then or a president, right? At some point.
I mean, dude, if that motherfucker ran for president, I think he would win.
Yeah.
Because he has all those fucking guys, all those,
right.
Christian, new wave Christian Republican votes.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. He would get them all. And I don't even know if he'd be terrible at it if he didn't get owned.
In 2040 or 2048, it'll be like him on the Republican side. It'll be him versus Dave Portnoy. He'll be the new Trump, and both of them will just fight it out.
I don't think Dave Portnoy is going to be alive in 20 years.
Well, none of us might be.
This is true.
But it's always there will be assholes who rise to the top. But yeah, you're right. If he wants to, he could do that.
I'm sure that there is going to be some. There's not. You're not crazy. Have you? I mean, dude, have we talked about Idiocracy on this show?
I mean, it's sure we haven't, and it was such a prescient movie. 15, 20 years ago at this point.
20 years ago at this point, yeah.
But have you seen what Mike Judge says about it?
No.
He's I was way off on the timeline. Because how long does he sleep? A few hundred years or something?
Yeah, I think he goes 300 years into the future. Yeah.
He's no, I should have just made it a couple of decades.
I mean, I feel like we're living in it right now.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of a cliche at this point to say that, but
it's got electrolytes.
It's got electrolytes.
Water your grass with it.
I always forget the president's name. It's Mountain Dew Camacho, but
I mean, dude, he was it's like The Rock. That's another guy that he might be on the Democrat.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, he'll be on the Dem side. Him and Beyonce.
Oh my God. Yeah, so it wasn't that Terry Crews that played the guy?
Yeah, it was Terry Crews.
Yeah, Terry Crews. Yeah. Fucking.
That might have been his breakout role.
I don't know. I thought his breakout role was in White Chicks,
or that commercial where he's destroying people in an office, right? Do you
he used to be the old. Yeah, wasn't that an Old Spice commercial or something? Yeah. Shit like that. That guy, and then he came out in the Me Too thing, and he was the one dude that was I sucked a dick to get on fucking movies. We're way off topic here. Jesus Christ!
For weed, move this man.
You're addicted to marijuana? I suck dick for cocaine. Boo this man.
Thank you for picking that one up, and not me.
R.I.P. Bob Saget. R.I.P.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. No.
Anyway,
we're way off topic.
They killed Killer B.
What was that movie called? Half Baked? That was That was great. That was a
Equal in
great
the
one as
works,
well.
apparently.
Oh yeah,
I might be making things up. I don't know.
yeah. I can't imagine Dave Chappelle is going to go do that again. But maybe
Okay.
I'd go see it. I'm sure I would.
Yeah.
So
You think him and Brewer still talk?
I don't know. I
Anyway,
don't think so. I don't
probably
think
not.
so. Yeah,
Probably not.
I'm gonna say no.
Although that's a Mets segue if you want, but I don't. I didn't let you talk about the Nets, so I'll shut up for a second.
No, let's just get a quick one. So the Nets are playing the Sixers. Nets got in as the 6 seed. Sixers are the 3 seed. Um, the Nets started gelling. What do we got here? East Coast transplant.
East
That would
Coast
be me.
transplant. Yeah.
That would be me. Is that
Anyway,
also a Denver beer? It's got to be, right?
where's New Image from? New Image Brewing is 8-5. Yeah, well, Wheat Ridge, Colorado, wherever the hell that is. So
Microbrewery, place in the world. So, I think the Sixers are the better team. Joel Embiid is a force to be reckoned with. We don't have any answer to that. Nick Claxton is a great player in the system, but he's not a banger down below. He's gonna get bodied up. We got Day'Ron Sharp, who is a bigger body, but he's a second year guy. Hasn't played a lot of minutes. So I think they're just gonna get the ball down to Embiid as much as they can, and then once we start doubling him, they'll kick it out. And I'm sure their guys are gonna hit threes. I do like the resolve of the team. I think we finally have a coach. I think Michael Bridges is great. And he's definitely a Philly guy. They drafted him and traded him on draft night, so he's probably got a little chip on his shoulder.
yeah,
And I think we can make some noise. I think we'll probably lose 4-2 in the first round, but I think it's valuable playoff time for a team that is in transition, and it'll allow us to really go into next season on a high note. There's going to be a lot of changes in Brooklyn. To the roster, and I think if we can find somewhere to put Ben Simmons, or get him to come back and play, then that takes that team somewhere else, and then we'll see where it goes. So I don't know. Interesting.
And anything about Harden, or do you think
I don't even. I got so angry with him last year because we were playoff bound, and I thought we could use him, and I gotta actually say I'm not sure I want to apologize to him, because I still think he's also not without fault, but he dealt with Kyrie and he didn't want to deal with it anymore.
Yeah.
So he just got out of there before everybody else got out of there. I guess I'm kind of upset with Sean Marks for giving up what they gave up to get him and then pulling the plug on it so quickly, and then now that's turned into fucking Ben Simmons, who is just another headache that we still have on our roster.
Is Marks going to keep his job?
Yeah,
Or
I think
ownership
so.
likes him. Okay,
I think so. I don't think Marks is bad. I think Marks, they sold their soul to the devil to get the superstars in the house, and I think any GM in this league would have done the same thing. Any GM. So he was trying to acquiesce to what those guys wanted, and it didn't ever work. And so now I think he's kind of taken the reins back and said, I'm going to do what I know how to do, which is build a team from the ground up. Team. Okay. Yeah. So I like some of the moves.
It's not easy to do in the NBA, but okay.
It's not, especially when you don't own your first round draft pick. So there is no reason for them to tank. I think the good news is that the Rockets are behind schedule on their rebuild, so they still haven't been able to put it together. They just fired their coach, so those pick swaps in the Harden trade are probably nothing to worry about. Okay. I don't think that they're going to finish above us in the next 2. I'll say they won't finish above us next year, if I had to guess.
Really?
And that puts us at
actually that makes sense.
I think that puts us at year 4 or 5 by the end of next year of everything that we've given up. Right?
I'm drinking, believe me.
So anyway, whatever with Harden. But as far as the Knicks go, I don't even know who. Do you know who the Knicks are playing in the first round?
Yeah, Cleveland.
It's escaping me. Cleveland.
It's Cleveland, and I think they got a shot in my limited knowledge. I'm not going to pick that series though. I just have not watched either of those teams. I'm around where you are. I probably Philly in 6, right?
Yeah. And I think Cleveland is a better team than New York. I think New York's played better overall the last couple of months, but I think Cleveland's going to take that in 6 as well.
They've played
So
well, and they're kind of a deep team. I don't know,
the
but
Knicks,
yeah, no,
I mean, yeah, sure, they're a defensive minded team that the scoring runs through Randall,
and
which
Brunson.
right, and Randall can run hot and cold. So I don't know. I haven't paid too much attention to the Knicks this year, but I still think they're not there yet. So we'll see. We'll see. So Dougie, we got a couple minutes left. Let's talk a little New York Mets baseball.
Yes,
How are you
let's go
feeling?
Mets. I'm feeling
Let's
good.
go Mets.
How are you feeling?
I feel good. I feel like we took 2 out of 3 at home from the Padres.
Yeah.
And one of those wins was against our arch nemesis, Yu Darvish, who I don't think we've ever beaten before.
Oh man, that was a fun game, and that's what I should have been watching instead of that Islanders game.
Yeah.
And yeah, like the only reason we finally got to you was like horrendous luck on his part, right? But we'll take it.
We'll take it. We deserved it. So,
Yeah.
I think that the team is playing overall well. We're playing well defensively. We're pitching well. We're not hitting. We're not getting the timely hits right now.
No.
It's early in the season. I'm not going to lose sleep over it. Everyone wants Beatty up. Everyone wants Vientos up. Everyone wants to get rid of Escobar. And I just think, calm the fuck down, everybody.
I'll disagree with you. Beatty should be up.
Okay.
The bottom of the lineup is a mess, or the bottom of the roster. And I think the first thing you can do is show the team that, results matter. Beatty has 1.3 OPS, already made his debut last year. Why is he down there just to keep Tim LaCastro on? And no knock against Tim LaCastro, but bringing him up makes Escobar more of an option at DH from the right side. And isn't Tommy Pham our number 1 right side DH right now? Like, you're not going to consider Alvarez that, right? So
no, yes, agreed.
Or bring up Vientos for the same reason, but I think they need another bat up from Syracuse.
I think Buck is a old school manager. I think Tommy Pham historically has hit lefties very well. I don't think he's the problem right now. I think
he's not the problem, but if I told you he was our primary right-handed DH for the year back in like November, like how would you react to that?
I mean, dude, let's let the season play out. He's crushed lefties throughout his career. The Mets are playing an analytical game. I understand the construction of the roster, and I think that Tim LaCastro for Brett Beatty that's not a 1-for-1. You're not talking apples to apples. Like, Buck likes his late inning defensive replacement pinch runner guy on the team. We had it last year with Jankowski. Then they brought up fucking Terrence Gore.
Yeah, no,
I don't think it's a luxury. I think
it is when you got 2 guys hitting 100 at the bottom of the lineup, which is what
it's also April. It's also April 14th, and I think you give.
I'm not saying you ditch Escobar, but push him.
Well, I think here's how I see it. Eduardo Escobar has been in the big leagues for 10 years. Even last year, he didn't hit well for the middle part of the season. I think he got off to a good start and he ended really, really hot. In the middle of the season, he kind of hit a dull. But over his career, he's been a 20 home run, 60 to 70 RBI guy. He plays plus defense at third. He's not a liability on the hot corner.
Oh no, he's been good in the field.
He plays good defense at third.
And he can play second.
He can play shortstop. He can play. I think he can play every position on the infield.
I'm not saying punt him, but
But then what then? If he would be the guy that replaces Guillorme, and so that or Pham. So I don't know if I'm ready to get rid of either of those guys. I think Guillorme is your.
You saw a situation where they had to bring up Nito as a pinch hitter because that's the last right-handed bat they have. They need.
I mean that's because Narvaez. That's because Narvaez is out, and that between Narvaez going down, and Darren Ruff not playing up to his potential, now that's what you're stuck with, because if Ruff makes the team, Tommy Pham is Tim LeCastro. Tim LeCastro's not on our team,
and that's all I'm advocating for. I
Right.
think Pham can be that in that role now. Speaking of vets,
So then if you're, I mean, Tim LeCastro did have quite a good spring training. I don't know if he's gotten enough at bats to do anything.
I kind of like the guy, so I don't want to be like doing this, but
Sure.
it's something to keep an eye on. I think they should give Alvarez at bats in like Oakland and like low pressure situations like that. If not, make a 40-man move and just bring up Michael Perez.
Well, that's kind of where my head went when they brought him up to begin with. I mean, Michael Perez is a lefty hitter anyway, so why didn't we just make a move? I think we got plenty of guys we could have thrown on the 60, bring him up, and let Alvarez get that everyday catching down in AAA. Yep. So that's the one thing that was a head scratcher to me out of this whole thing, because now you got Alvarez up here and he comes up in the game we lost against San Diego and strikes out against Hader, which I mean, that's a tough assignment for a veteran,
21-year-old guy. Yeah.
Right. And granted, the way he struck out was rough. He got 5 or 6 high fastballs all in a row.
But he's got to work this out.
Totally.
Get him at bats.
Yeah, get him at bats.
I don't know.
I don't know either, but I'll tell you, I like our bullpen. Our bullpen's been looking pretty good.
Love the bullpen. Yes.
Yep.
Robertson is such a nice backup to have for Diaz, because he will go in any situation. He'll give you anything. 7th, 8th, 9th inning.
Same with Alfredo. Yep, he said it. I don't care where I pitch as long as we win. And I think that's something that was a little bit difficult for Diaz. He never really pitched well if it wasn't a save situation. Yeah. Didn't quite get his amped up. Yeah. Now you got 2 guys that are interchangeable between the 8th and the 9th, and you got a couple of good. John Curtis has been really good for us.
Yes.
Raley's finally got a lefty that can get people out, lefties out.
I know. So what a concept.
A concept.
And Drew Smith needs to, control the walks a little better, but I like the bullpen's not bad.
No, I like what Santana and Reyes bring to the table as well.
Sure.
So once we get Verlander back, that'll be a nice boost. I think Max has got to work through his early season shit right now. He's not looking sharp, but
not too worried about that. It looks like they're trying to figure out how to bring up Joey Lucchesi during this trip, and that might be a reflection on Carrasco, and pressure's on him on Saturday tomorrow.
Yeah,
to say
I mean, he did his thing last year. He won against the sub 500 teams and he lost against the good teams. Yeah. And he's faced one bad team and one good team thus far, right?
And his velo's way down though again, so it could be the end. And everyone's like, "Oh, Epler went to watch Syracuse last night for Beatty." It was probably for Casey, who was great. Went into the 7th, and
perfect.
Yeah,
let's see what happens. I mean, hopefully Carrasco can get it corrected, because we are going to need innings, and if
that's all that matters. Yep.
Yeah, and if he can at least get us through to the All-Star break, and maybe through 3/4 of the year and become a decent pitcher, then that's a good thing. But Oakland tomorrow, right? No, tonight. Oakland tonight for the it's Friday. I thought it was Thursday. Oakland tonight for the weekend, and we should theoretically sweep this fucking series. They are the worst team in the majors. It is on the road, so there's always that, and we're not great. We never play great on the West Coast, but I would love to see us get 3 against Oakland to start this off, because they stink. And we got Senga, Carrasco, and Scherzer. And we're pitching again. I don't even know. I looked at the fucking roster of the Oakland A's, and it's like every quadruple A guy that they're not even, the worst part is they're not even like young guys that they're giving a shot.
They're not spicy prospects. They're a bunch of
fucking like cast-offs,
Yankee cast-offs from like 5 to 10 years ago. Yeah.
Dude, like Jace Peterson is their third baseman. Like
Jackson Caprillion is pitching tonight. Remember him?
I don't know who that is.
Hot Yankees prospect like 10 years ago. Come on, dude.
Yeah, I thought Kent Waldendorf was pitching tonight, and I'm like, who the fuck is this guy? But anyway, I don't know who they're catching. I mean, their whole team is just a bunch of like quadruple A guys.
It's a bad scene, and unfortunately, that team's going to get moved.
Maybe at this
Salt
point,
Lake, maybe to Vegas. It sucks. I want them to stay.
They should stay. Well, I mean, have you ever been to Oakland? It's not. It's
I've been
not.
to, yeah, I've never
It's
been to
not
the
a great
stadium.
place.
I've driven past
I've I've
the
been
Al
to the
Davis. What do they
stadium,
call it?
the
The pit or something?
O.co, the
Oh no,
O.co.
not the corporate thing.
I
I
don't
don't
know.
know. The Raiders fans used to call it something cool.
I don't know. It's the fuck. I've been to the stadium and like there was fucking active water leaks like
Oh yeah,
happening.
there's
It's
poop
just
everywhere.
it's falling
It's
apart.
it's the last throwback, I think. Right? There's nothing else
Quite
from
like it.
the 70s.
But the stadium they were going to build, where they were going to build it in Emeryville, like that looked beautiful. Maybe not Emeryville, whatever the edge of the water in Oakland. Maybe it is Emeryville. I don't know. But yeah, that looked beautiful. But they couldn't get the funding because the city doesn't want to pay for it.
Right.
And so and then no one, they have
Honestly, can't blame them.
no, they have a loyal bunch of fans, but if you're only getting
And a proud
20,000
tradition.
people,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. Well, anyway, Dougie, it's been a great show. What do you got to say?
Let's dunk on the Pittsburgh Penguins again. Via con Dios, Pittsburgh. The New York Islanders own you. Yeah, just so you know that.
Series. Swept the season series.
And through history, I think they've won one playoff series against us. We've won like 5.
And we didn't let you get into the playoffs this year. The last time you didn't make the playoffs was 2006. Is that right?
Yeah, or 4 or something like that. Or maybe
no,
that was
2006.
The Caps. Honorable
2006.
Okay.
So they
honorable
made
mention
the
to the Caps though, because fuck them too. Hi, Matt.
Fuck them too. Yeah. Yes.
And no, but yeah, how much fun was that to see them crying at the end?
And then you saw they fired the entire front office,
including Ron Hextall, who was in goal for the fucking sweep in '94.
Yep. So fuck you too, Ron Hextall.
Karma's a bitch.
Yeah.
And let's go Islanders, baby.
Let's go Islanders. See you guys next week. Awesome. What do we want to call this? Playoffs?
Playoffs?
With a apostrophe?
Oh, playoffs? God. Just do like playoffs in all caps with a bunch of fucking exclamation points, right?
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Okay. I like it.
That works for the Nets too, man. It's a great time of year.
Yeah, definitely. Awesome, bro. That was a good show. Good times.
Yeah. I'll let you get back to it, I guess. But you probably forgot about this, but we finally got Ori's present in the mail. I'm so sorry it's late.
All good. She'll appreciate it. Thank you, sir.
And I know. I like wrote a whole note for her, but she can't read.
No, exactly. she won't know the difference. What do you got going on this weekend? Anything fun? Hold on. Let me actually shut this off over here before we start talking.
Yeah, I feel like we're still live.
We are.
No, but